I wasn't actually planning on making a Dracozolt VMAX video, but the deck performed surprisingly well in a few games on stream, so here we are. First off, you'll notice some huge consistency issues with the deck if you play it long enough. There's only 4 basic Pokemon in the deck plus 3 evolutions, and that is it. The odds of starting a garbage hand are absolutely the highest they've ever been, so you have to hope for good draws, which is where Kabu comes in. Kabu is rarely played because it's usually just a draw 4, but if you only have 1 Pokemon in play, you shuffle draw 8. For that reason, it is great in this deck and perfect in this deck, and the rest of the deck is filled with healing cards, namely Cheryl, because Dracozolt VMAX only needs 1 energy to attack, and Cheryl just heals off all that damage, so it's easy to just put it back up there and just attack and just keep things going. And that attack is Spark Trap. It only does 60 damage, but during your opponent's next turn, if Dracozolt is hit by an attack, even if it's knocked out, you put 120 damage on the attacking Pokemon. This makes it insane against single prize decks, horrible against fighting decks, and as long as you face a 2-shot deck, you definitely have a chance. And only 3 mulligans, that's pretty good when you only play 4 basics. So I'm not going first, which is a bit tough with this deck. And I'll be able to knock out that Sobble if they don't retreat. So that Sobble is definitely going down unless they retreat. Okay, so I have the weakness advantage. That's good. The deck does play Tool Jammer, so I should be good to go. But just to warm up with Dracozolt. Hopefully my trade for Mewtwo goes through. I looked around online. I couldn't find any codes anywhere. So I just have not been able to get my hands on the dang card. Or cards, I guess. Alright, so Path to the Peak goes down. As long as I don't bench anyone, I'm fine. Primeval Beak takes a knockout. So when you have that weakness advantage, you're doing great. And hey, Evie, how's it going? Unfortunately, I don't have my hands on any of the V-Unions yet. I've searched. No one is offering them on the trade market. I put up a trade offering 50 packs for a full Mewtwo V-Union. So far, no bites. So hopefully someone in chat shows up and can lend me some V-Unions so I can actually try it. But as of right now, we're just, I guess just playing whatever today. Okay, so I don't want to use Primeval Beak on the active, so I think I just start building up the benched one. I Pokégear, hopefully don't get a research, get a bosses, so let's knock out that Lotad. Because knocking out a Lotad is fun. And let's get some Lucky Ice Pops going. Flip heads. Yeah. You can infinitely heal Pokemon with Lucky Ice Pop if you keep flipping heads, but of course I don't. But if anyone shows up and they have Mewtwo V-Union or even Zacian or Greninja and they want to offer them to me, I'll take them. My plan was to do V-Union content today, but I cannot find them anywhere. I spent, like an hour or two just searching the trade market, searching online, trying to get people in the game to send me some V-Unions if they have them, but nobody seems to have them. And Groot, thank you for showing up to the stream your first time. Welcome. All right, so they're going to hit me hard. I have a Dracozolt VMAX, so that should be good. The stream, unfortunately, will be a bit unfocused because I'm not able to do the V-Union decks. If a trade goes through, then I can do my V-Union stuff, but as of right now, we're waiting on some trades to go through. And we flip tails. Alrighty. So let's Evolution Incense, get a Dracozolt VMAX. I probably want to just probably evolve both, just so we're not... Oh, 3 a.m.? Okay, yeah. I know that when I stream, it's not ideal for a lot of time zones. So thank you for catching a stream. And if they hit into me, they'll take a bit of damage. If I can find Tool Jammer, it'll just knock itself out. But that probably won't happen because my hand is not doing a whole lot here. But Dracozolt against Suicune is definitely the best matchup for sure, by far. If I can just face Suicune all day long with Dracozolt, that'd be great. So I think, yeah, if they hit into me, they take 12 damage, I knock them out with Spark Trap. Then they hit into me again the following turn, they take more damage, and I'm probably going to put the bosses back in. Groot, it has to be tagged for trade. So you can just send me a friend request and I'll accept it, and you can look at my binder. Most of the good cards are gone by now. You know, a lot of the good cards are gone by now, but you can take a look, see what you want. There's still some things available. And we're just flipping heads on those ice pops. Alright, so I think I'm surviving another hit. Okay, then yeah, for 300, once you get to 310, you can get a free code, or you can just save them up, or you can get some you can get some commons. The option is yours, and you can fill out your collection with commons before the new game comes out and PTCGO is gone. So there's lots of choices. Lots of choices. I don't think there's any way that they win. Yeah, the Lucky Ice Pop, it can be kind of funny. You know, you heal 20 damage and then you just keep flipping. Just keep flipping. I think the most I did was 100. So Dracozolt can be really good against decks that don't take one-shots, but against everything else it's, you know, not that great. But if they don't get... They have to get Ludicolo, full bench, Suicune to take a knockout. Because they would be able to do, what, 120, or sorry, 220 or 240 at that point? Are they going into the Inteleon or the Ludicolo? They're going into Inteleon, that's what I thought. So they might hit me with, okay. They're going for the Marnie. There's an energy, so I'll be able to get max impact up and running. They're gonna take a whole bunch of damage here. I don't think there's any way that I lose. So this is great news for the Dracozolt deck. They're going to take 12 damage in return. I'll just knock it out. I will set up a max impact. I won't do that. Yeah, let's just Spark Trap, take the knockout, go to 1 prize. So Dracozolt, taking the victory, you know? You queue up against Suicune all day long, you're going to win all your games. It's that simple. It's that simple for Dracozolt. There's Dragapult. I guess it makes sense to hold the hand because Kabu, if you have 2 Pokemon in play, you draw 4 cards. If you have 1 Pokemon in play, you draw 8. So only having 1 Pokemon in play is actually good with Kabu. And I am playing against Dragapult. So they have to do a lot of things to take a knockout. You know, the question here is, well, that's annoying. I was going to say, the question here is, do I just go and attach as much energy as I can and maybe use the 4 energy, 200 damage attack? Well, there's Kabu again anyway. And I appreciate how much you've given to me, Eevee. Alright, so there's Cheryl, there's Kabu. I will definitely use the potion. Kabu for 8. If I don't get an energy, that would just be crazy. And I didn't get an energy. Alrighty. Oh, I got the energy search. That's why you play energy search, right? I got to evolve. Let's get that VMAX up and running. So I won't attach the energy just because I might have to do a Cheryl play next turn. So I'll use Spark Trap. They're going to have to hit me a bunch of times to try and win. I think I can just out-heal them more than they can use damage counters against me. So maybe Dragapult is also a really good matchup for this. You know, I played Duraludon yesterday. That was a good matchup against Dragapult. Maybe Dracozolt is like also a really good matchup. Because they can do 130. Zombizarro V Unions are on PTCGO. I just can't find them anywhere. So I think I just keep using Spark Trap turn after turn. and see if they can do anything. You know, Dracozolt feasts on Pokemon that can't do a whole lot, and Dragapult cannot do a whole lot. Okay, so if they get the Inteleon, they would do 150. I would still survive. I would have the Cheryl for next turn, or I can just use Cheryl now. But I think it makes more sense. You know, what are the odds that they get? They could do 130. They would need to do 60 more. They need to get 1,000,000. I think I just Spark Trap and hope they don't Marnie me. I think that's what happens. And if they do hit into me with that active Dragapult, oh, and there's the Marnie. All right. And yeah, Zombazaro, I've been trying. I currently have a trade on the open market. I'm giving 50 Evolving Skies for just Mewtwo V Union. No bites yet, unfortunately. Maybe someone will accept it. Maybe, you know, if someone watching has any of the V Unions and you want to lend them to me for a couple hours and I'll trade them back. That's also an option. But if you go on the trade market and you look for V Unions, there's literally no one offering V Unions. So it's not like a case of, oh, I just can't afford it. It's no one has them. I kind of knew going into today that it would actually be smarter for me to just buy the physical V Union, you know, collection box. I think it's like $26 or something, $25, $30, somewhere around there. And Dracozolt takes a knockout, doesn't even have to do anything. All right, so we're gonna flip 20 heads with the Lucky Ice Pop and not even gonna need Cheryl. Or we're gonna flip 0, whatever. Okay, so there's Marnie. I will probably, may as well just grab the Marnie. So healing that little bit of damage was definitely good. I will build up the back Dracozolt. There's double potion, awesome. And then I think I hit the Drizzile, because if I knock out the Drizzile, that limits their ability to have more Inteleon. And if they hit into me, they still take revenge damage from Spark Trap. And then it will activate Kabu. So I think I'm in a good position. And hey, Rhinov, how's it going? Bam, baby, are Hollow Energies uncommon or rare? I mean, it's one copy of any card. So you can get one energy. I'd have to take a look at my energy to know exactly what the totals are. But if you want one energy, go for it. And Dragapult cannot compete against Dracozolt. Apparently I'm making a Dracozolt video because it has some good matchups. It beats Suicune, or I guess it has a good matchup against Suicune. It destroys Dragapult. Against Shadow Rider, it's horrible, but against Dragapult and Suicune, it's good, and you're facing those a lot. You grinded the whole ladder. Is this a mirror match? No way, what happens in the mirror match? This is insane. A mirror match against Dracozolt. I think this is the first, oh, I had to take 4. Okay, so they got a huge advantage. I'm going first, so that is horrible. I won't get the energy attachment. I will get the first VMAX though. I'll just do nothing just in case. Okay, this clinched it. This is easily becoming a video. Because Dracozolt versus Dracozolt, who would ever expect that? So I can't attach any energy unless I evolve. So now I can attach energy. And I think the way you play the mirror matchup is that... Okay, so there's a V, that's perfect. You just keep attacking with the one in the active as long as possible. Alrighty, well, I'll save that other Lucky Ice Pop. I think you just attack with the one in the active as long as possible while you build up one on the bench. Okie dokie. Well, we're just going to use Spark Trap and hope. So the deck definitely has weaknesses, but in this mirror match, I think you just use Spark Trap as much as you can and try to build up a max impact on the benched one. The alternative strategy is just use Spark Trap and Cheryl all day long and hope you draw well. I think that's what it's going to come down to, is just who gets the healing items. You know, if one of us flips 10 heads on Lucky Ice Pop, then we win. And Rhinov, no, I don't really like full art trainers that much, just because I think most of the people watching my videos won't have full art trainers. So if they see like a full art boss's orders in my hand, they won't know what it is. So I prefer non-hollow, basic, just whatever. I know it's kind of sad, but that's just what I prefer. I'm sorry. All right, so speed lightning energy. I probably should not evolve the bench or the back one because it doesn't matter. I'll just Spark Trap. And my opponent is definitely suffering the consequences of this deck. You only play 7 Pokemon, 4 basics, 3 evolutions. So it's like, you can just get into hands where you don't draw anything. You play a ton of supporters in this deck. You play a ton of healing items. And they're getting rid of the top of their deck. So I will Evolution Incense and then Cheryl, and then do the thing, attach the energy, use Spark Trap. But you're seeing the potential of the deck and the downfalls of the deck. Cheryl just heals all that damage. I had to get rid of that other energy, I forgot. So I should have used Potion first. I completely forgot exactly how Cheryl works. But if they hit into me, they take 120 damage. That's still a knockout unless they do some healing, which they definitely will. So Cheryl, I forgot, it heals all damage from each of your evolution Pokemon, but you discard all that energy. So I messed up there. I should have used Potion on the bench one to save that energy. And Eevee, I think what, you're 2 or 3 wins away from getting that full art boss's orders, and there's still quite a bit of time left. I'm certain you'll get it to there tomorrow. Alright, so there's the Moomoo Cheese. Here comes the Lucky Ice Pop. So I think the mirror match is just a huge grind. It's just who flips the most heads on their cards. And let's put I guess the Cheryl and the Marnie back in there. Because I don't want to lose my Pokégears, but I think I need to get myself, I have to play a trainer this turn. And I think Marnie's the smartest one, because it at least gets me 5 cards and it lowers their hand. So I think that makes the most sense. They're being smart by not attacking me. Alright, so there's double potion, there's an energy, there's a bosses. I think I just hold that energy and yeah, the eternal grind continues. So again, this is showing both the best and the worst of Dracozolt, and they're just building this guy up. They cannot find a backup Dracozolt at all. They finally got a VMAX. They will take a bunch of damage in return. And they play Pokemon Center Lady. So maybe they play that instead of... Maybe they play... Jeez, okay, hang on. Alright, so they do play Cheryl and Pokemon Center Lady. I guess that makes sense, right? Okay, so I can just heal a ton of damage off this thing and force them to do the thing, or do I save it for the next one? Because I know they're not taking a knockout. If I save all my healing for the back one, I think that might make the most sense. Because I didn't take any damage in return. There's their next one. They're finding energy a lot easier than I am. And I need this to not do well. Good. There's a research. They'll probably find some potions or something. There's another Lucky Ice Pop. They have had some horrible luck on the pop. Wow, yeah, so they are just doing horribly there. I will be able to knock them out the following turn unless they just get a ton more healing. Oh, geez. So, do they survive? Are you kidding me? They survive? I need to find Tool Jammer then. That's Energy Search. So, do I have Tool Jammer in the deck? I do, but they're going to easily be able to heal. I think I have to hold the energy just in case. You know, I don't want to hit into this guy. I think I just used Spark Trap. They just got the exact right cards. Sorry, the exact right cards. And don't worry about it, Mink. I'm glad you're here. I have 3 random pack codes left. So if you haven't redeemed your free code today, do it now. Otherwise, you'll be stuck with Steam Siege. But as Evie has pointed out, having Steam Siege isn't the worst thing because don't open it and you'll be able to turn it into crystals when the new game comes out. But I think in the mirror match of Dracozolt, it depends who gets the best healing and who gets the most energy into play. They were just able to find a ton of healing, attach a ton of energy, while I was not. Yeah, they have been drawing like crazy this game. So I think, honestly, it might be in my best interest to try and just stall them out. So if I stall them out for 14 turns, maybe I'll win. I think that's the only game plan I have at this point, is just stall. But if they can't do any more healing, yeah, if they hit into me with the active, they take a bunch of damage. They could hard retreat, but they would still take a hit on the other one. I do have healing. I can bosses that one, but it doesn't really make sense. Oh, they're doing nothing. Okay, so do I just try and hit this guy? Because I don't think they're playing Switch. And if they don't play Switch and they can't find energy, I think I just win. So let's Spark Trap that guy. Let's see if I can just stall for the game. You know, stalling is a viable option. It's not the best option in the world. It's not the... Well, there's Tool Jammer, that's fine. No, it's not the most exciting play in the history of the Pokemon TCG, but stalling is a viable option. One of the benefits of a mirror match is you know what your opponent's playing, and I don't think they're playing Switch or anything. So we're just Spark Trap all over again. They're down their Ice Pops. Their cheese has gone bad. They have 1 potion left. They've used the Pal Pad. I mean, is there anything they can do to win? Because maybe... How many energy do we play? I think I will attach the Speed Lightning just to see. And then I'll pull that out of the deck. How many energy are left? I have 3 energy left. So it's not the dumbest thing to build this guy up. So if I just keep building up the Dracozolt, they know that I'm going to have to kill it eventually. But I mean, I could just do the same thing as them and not attack. But if they're saving something, then attacking is the best bet. So I'm not quite sure what I should do. Because if I attack, I take the knockout, but I might just win if I don't attack. But that's pretty boring. You know, they'll hit into me for a ton of damage. I think I just Spark Trap. I know I got Cheryl. Taking 2 prizes. Maybe I'll get some more healing items. You know, I do want this to be an exciting game. I know it's been boring so far, but I can heal an absolute ton of damage. Their Marnie count is... Well, they're just using Pokemon Center Lady. That's 200 damage. I will Tool Jam them. I'll take the knockout. There's a Tool Jammer. Let's... Okay, so I have, how much damage am I healing? I'm healing 30, 60, 90, 120, 150. Doesn't make sense to do that. I think I abandoned the strategy. I think I abandoned the Cheryl strategy. Just heal all this damage. Or, no, sorry, I abandoned the max impact strategy. Just heal as much as I can. How many Cheryl are in the deck? I have 3 Cheryl, 3 energy, ice pops, and more healing. I have some Pokégears. I'm taking 3 prizes. That's the thing. Okay, I'm taking 3 prizes. That is huge. I may as well just use the ice pops because there's no reason not to. They either come back into my hand or they don't. That one didn't. Let's go for the potion, sure. Alright, Spark Trap, taking 3 prizes. It all comes down to this. Dracozolt versus Dracozolt. I have 1 prize remaining. They have 3. Doesn't really matter. We both have Tool Jammer on the active. It's an exciting showdown. This is like Metapod versus Metapod. I think they'll go for max impact because they've been able to build up their guy. Maybe I should have attached that energy. They're using Spark Trap. Okay. That is good. So if I can... There's Kabu. What's my... Well, that's good. So if I... Let's see what the ice pop does. Let's see what that does. That'll determine what I do. And there's a tails. Alrighty. So if I hit into them, I go to 160. They would do damage, so I can't hit into them this turn unless I use Cheryl. And then they would just use max impact. So I think I use Cheryl. Maybe this was the game-losing move here. Let's put Cheryl back in the deck. Spark Trap. So if they hit into me next turn, I do some big damage. And I essentially win if they can't heal anything. Because I will have 10 HP left. So if they don't heal, I win. There's Rose. That was something I was thinking of playing. Oh, what do you have? Well played. Phew, that was close. You have a good deck. That was a great game. Thank you for the game hack. That was a lot of fun. I didn't think I'd be making a Dracozolt video today, but the mirror match, insane. Those Lucky Ice Pops were terrible. They're playing the Rose. That is definitely something I was thinking about because you can just surprise your opponent with a max impact out of nowhere. But the list I'm playing was, I think, from Munchlax TCG. They just went full on with healing. So Rose is definitely something to experiment with. But this list just goes hard on the healing. Hard on that healing.